warm welcome to the Sports Express show. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys, and taking the time out to watching our video. We really appreciate it. It's I and you, so of course, alongside Sanele Melane, as usual, brother. We're still out here with the pink happiness.
Yeah, bro, Women's Month. Why, brother? In fact, it should be a year. It should be many years, not just a month. We love you, ladies.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking some rugby news, of course,
yes.
From this past weekend as far as the Rugby Championship is concerned.
Yeah.
We're also going to touch in on some boxing news now, as we've had major announcements from the heavyweight division as far as the heavyweight title is concerned, between Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, of course. But we're going to start with the rugby.
Yeah.
The Rugby Championship, the Springboks have officially grabbed our first title in over, or was it 10 years exactly? It's 2009? 10 years. Yeah, so our first Rugby Championship title, or any trophy for that matter, in 10 years. Great performance against Argentina this past weekend in Argentina. Obviously going to play our final test before we go on to the World Cup.
Yes. It was an insane match. I actually was surprised that we won by that margin. I don't want to lie to you.
How was it surprising though for you?
Because looking from the Jaguares, from the Super Rugby, with the way they performed, the way they reached the final,
it filtered through to
I thought it would filter through because the national team is picking the best of the best of the best. So I thought, look, these guys know each other, and Super Rugby has given them that platform. So I thought they'll be like super tight. I didn't expect that performance. I didn't expect that large of a margin of a win. But I'm very happy with it.
It is very pleasing.
It's surprising, but in a very warm and fuzzy way.
It's not like overly. It's not overly joyous.
No, it's not over the top because you must still be wary. I think in general in South African sports we have this tendency we can deliver one moment then collapse in the next. So it's subdued happiness, if I can put it that way. Now it's just looking forward to the World Cup.
So keeping that in mind, of course, the mentality of most South African teams. I want you to tell me what it actually means now for the Springboks going into the 2019 Rugby World Cup. What does it actually mean for them? The fact that we did win the Rugby Championship and the fact that we are performing good. Well, not as great as we did in the past, but we are performing good and we do have the momentum now going into a major tournament. So what does that actually mean for us?
Like you stated there, we have the momentum, and momentum in such cases means everything, in fact. Like you said, momentum, now we have that confidence as well to match up with that momentum. And like I say, we drew against New Zealand in New Zealand, which is another tip to our hat.
Confidence booster.
Major. So it shows that there's some teams that can do well at home but buckle away from home, but we're not those teams because we drew and we won. So we have great momentum and we are in contention of winning the World Cup.
So you wouldn't say like major favorites? Is it taking too far?
I think for me right now, it's taking it too far. Right now, we're there, but we can't say major favorites.
So you'd advise South Africans to not get too excited?
Just calm down.
Be optimistic.
Be optimistic. Be silently optimistic. Be silently optimistic. We amongst the big boys, but we ain't the biggest mother, right? Like there yet. So it's good. Let's keep it to ourselves, and then when it happens, God willing, of course, then we can just go crazy.
You heard it from the big man first. Right, so we're looking forward, obviously, to our final test this weekend against Argentina again. Before we jet off to Japan in September, for the Rugby World Cup. Now we're going to move over to some boxing news now, of course, in the heavyweight division. So a huge announcement, massive announcement. We've been waiting for months and months and months for the announcements, but Eddie Hearn and his team have finally announced that Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz rematch will be taking place in December the 7th. Right, so it's confirmed it is this year, boxing fans.
But where?
So the match will be taking place in Saudi Arabia, of all places. So that's raised a lot of eyebrows, got a lot of people talking.
Look, I mean, understandably so. It raises a lot of questions. Obviously, it's Saudi Arabia are trying to clean themselves with certain events. Sporting events. There is this controversy where a journalist was slaughtered in Saudi Arabia and is Saudi Arabian, and he was critical of the Saudi Arabian government.
Yeah.
So much so that it was so much of a controversy that I remember Nadal and Federer refused to play there because of the controversy that surrounded the country. So it just boggles my mind. There's a lot of questions that are raised from this decision. Yes, there's more money. Follow the money. It's all about money, right? It's not about expanding the sport and blah blah. That's the marketing side of things. But when you look it down to it at its core, it's all about the money. Why Saudi Arabia? Blows my mind. I don't know. We're talking about the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion
of all time,
the world of all time. Yeah. Why is it not in Mexico?
Okay, so Eddie Hearn's thinking behind this, or what he said, was that for him it's all about growing the sport of boxing, of course, and moving it into other territories. Remember, Ruiz beat Joshua in New York, right? So there was a lot of talk of the rematch being in London, or in England, rather, where it's Joshua's territory. Yeah. So Andy Ruiz was against that. So he was like, why doesn't it come back to America or go to Mexico, right? So both teams were clashing in that regard. So it was agreed that it should be on neutral ground, which will be any other country besides England or America or Mexico, right? So neutral ground. And with him wanting to grow the sport of boxing, he thought, who's the biggest investor, or who is looking to invest more in the sport of boxing? He thought Saudi Arabia.
Look, that's such a
why doesn't it make sense?
That is the cheesiest thing I've heard ever, bruh. Like, okay, like I said, that's the marketing side. It boils down to money. Like, why didn't they go to Dubai? Why not go to Dubai?
Why are you so concerned about it? Because they've already have a lot of events in Saudi Arabia. Amir Khan's last fight was in Saudi Arabia, which was a very big success as well.
Money. They tried to. It's blood money.
It happen.
It's blood money. It's like.
Why is it blood money?
Because the fact that they eliminated a guy who was against the Saudi Arabian government. That's why. I mean, let me put it to you this way: if Federer can refuse to go play there because of this, that means that event or
that is a completely another sport.
But it's still sport.
Yeah,
but it's still sport. And we're talking about a major player, not just the number 100 in the world. We're talking about the top 5 player, number 1 in history in some people's eyes. So,
you're not happy about this.
I'm not happy, but my dissatisfaction is the fact that it's not in Mexico. I mean, this is the first time ever. Anthony Joshua wanted to take. It was more for expanding his brand, going into America, penetrating the American market. But now the king is Andy Ruiz Jr. He is the king now. But then he should be put in the place to make the shot calling, so that he can have this title fight at home. He is like, guys, you don't understand. Like, he is the first ever.
Look, no, we completely get that. But the thing is now, Joshua is the former champion, and he did exercise his rematch clause. So, which means he does have a say on whether.
And it's sorry to cut you off. It's actually hypocritical. If any of you if any of you guys are watching this from Eddie Hearn's team, it's actually hypocritical, and I'll tell you why. There was a segment when it was back and forth between Wilder and Joshua, and Joshua himself said fighters were coming to him with unreasonable offers. He said, let's have a fight first, and if you win, then you'll be the shot caller, right?
Yeah.
Where's Andy Ruiz Jr.'s shot calling now? He is the champion, he holds the keys, but now you're denying him that. And he asked for a pay rise, and there was some sort of dispute. That's why the rematch took so long to be finalized. He is the guy who holds the golden keys. Therefore, he should be the king calling the shots. But you've got Eddie Hearn.
Who's the guy who has Eddie Hearn though? Because in boxing, it's all about the promoting at the end of the day. And Anthony Joshua has Eddie Hearn, and the match will be in Saudi Arabia. Confirmed.
At the end of the day, whether I like it or not.
At the end of the day, it's going to be an arena with a boxing ring and 2 fighters
and a lot of money. And Saudi Arabia washing their flipping blood away with sports. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I don't want us to talk about the actual fights now because it's in December. So we're going to wrap it up right now.
Let's wrap it up.
It's officially announced. Saudi Arabia will be the venue for the Joshua Ruiz rematch fight for the heavyweight title, undisputed heavyweight Tidy, we're wrapping it up now.
Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in again. We appreciate the love. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And stay pink and support women always, not just this month. Thank you. Until next time. Peace.